Hey, solopreneurs. So I'm just hopping on to share day 4 of the Share Your Message Challenge. So I'm just hopping on here a little bit late today because I've been on calls all morning, but we continue. So the last few days I've been talking about creating a content plan so that you have some structure in place so that when you start creating content and sharing your message, it's a lot easier and it comes a little bit more smoothly rather than just throwing shit at the wall and hoping that something sticks. So on the first day, on Tuesday, we talked about putting a plan in place and making it a priority. So scheduling it in and understanding why you want to share your message. Understanding that deep why is really going to help you when things get hard or you get busy and you just want to, oh, I don't need to create content today. Screw it. I'm not going to do it. But instead, you're going to go, oh, yes, I know why I'm doing this. And it's a priority and I need to do it. It's important. So that was day number 1. Day number 2, we talked about understanding your audience and really knowing who your audience is, what they suffer with, how you can solve that problem, and how you can fix that for them. And just really diving deep, not into, what magazines they read, what TV shows they watch, who gives a shit. It's more of where's their pain? And how can you fix that pain? How can you speak to them? And actually, I was talking to somebody about this morning, actually, on a hot seat, is that if you sit down to create content and you imagine that you're just having coffee with that one person, or you're having cocktails, or you are sitting down, or you're going for a hike with somebody, how would you speak to that one person? Don't create content like you're speaking to 400 people. You speak to one person. So imagine that when you are sitting down to create content. The next piece is to keep it simple. Anybody that knows me knows that this is like my motto. Keep it simple. You do not need to be repurposing over 12 different platforms and doing all the things. If you're just starting out with creating content and you're creating a system for yourself, pick one type of content and one platform. Not do one. So just pick one. You can do a blog post and that would be on your blog. Then we'll talk about repurposing later on in the challenge. But for now, just think about what piece of content you're going to create and where it will be hosted. So maybe you're just going to do Facebook Lives. So there you go. You got Facebook Lives and you've got Facebook. That's your thing. That's what you need to know. Maybe you're going to just do Instagram posts, for example. So there you go. You're going to create images with maybe quotes or whatever and just create that and then post it on Instagram. For now, that's all you need to worry about. Let's keep it simple. Let's not try to reinvent the wheel and do 1,200 things all at once. Today, the lesson is purpose. What is the purpose of the content? So we talked about why you're creating content in the first place, but this one's a little bit different. Each piece of content should have some sort of purpose behind it. So maybe your purpose is to entertain people, and that's it. All you want to do is make people laugh. Or maybe you are wanting to inspire. Maybe that's the purpose. So you could maybe share an incredible story and you're inspiring people, and that is the only purpose to your content. Maybe it's to uplift, or maybe it's to educate. Like this challenge is all about educating, but I'll get into what my purpose is in a minute too. Maybe it's to educate, maybe it's to inform or to invite or to promote, because sometimes we promote stuff, right? We don't just give away everything for free. So, for example, this challenge is content, but I started it off with a series called the 10 Commandments of Content Creation, which then led into this Share Your Message Challenge. So that was actually 20 days of content that I created, and it was a series. The purpose of the 10 Commandments of Content Creation was to educate, was also to invite you into this challenge so that you could start sharing your own message. It was also to entertain, because, I'm funny. There are a few different purposes to it, but the biggest purpose of that was to invite, to get you into the challenge so that you could start sharing your own message. Then this challenge has a purpose, obviously. So This challenge is to inspire you to start sharing your own message. It is to educate so that you know how to start sharing your message and don't get overwhelmed, and you can start creating that plan for yourself. It is to inform, because I'm informing you how creating content and sharing your message isn't that hard, and you can do it. I believe in you. And it is to invite, because of course I have an offer at the end of this challenge. We all know that, and I'm just going to be transparent about it. So there is an offer coming. I'll let you know what it is. So that is the purpose of me doing this challenge. I'm not just unconsciously hopping on Facebook Lives and talking out my ass because I think I know something. I have actually sat down and planned this, and there is a purpose behind it. So when you're creating your content in preparation for sharing your message, there we go, it's important to understand what is the purpose. So just think about that for a few minutes. It's not like it's an hour-long homework task. It's only a few minutes. What am I doing and why am I doing it? Why am I taking this action? Why am I sharing this message? What is the importance and the what difference is it going to make? So understanding that. So as you're starting to map out your content, you will start to see patterns. So we talked about knowing your audience. So now you know your audience, you know how you can help them, and you know what kind of content you can share with them in order to share your message. And you understand the purpose behind it, and you've got a system and it's scheduled in. Now you can start seeing a pattern. And as you can see, I do patterns all the time. The 10 commandments of content creation. That's 10 days of content right there. The 10-day share your message challenge. That's another 10 days of content right there. So as you can see, I've patterned it out so that I'm not thinking every week, oh my God, what kind of content am I going to create this week? No, I already know because I have a list. And I'm like, okay, today we're talking about purpose. Yesterday we talked about keeping it simple. The day before we talked about knowing your audience. So you see how there's a pattern there, and you can start to develop content that actually goes for several weeks so that you're not constantly trying to think about what you're creating. Literally, I created the 10 commandments of content creation in about half an hour of sitting down and brainstorming, and that created my content. When I hop on these lives, sometimes I have an outline for what I'm going to say, and sometimes I just wing it because I know my stuff, and you will too when you're sharing. But just having that quick little outline of like, so that this is the 10 commandments, or these are the 10 top things that I need you to know about, insert your topic here, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be 10, it could be 5, it could be 20, whatever you want. But start looking for those patterns so that you can actually create a week's worth or month's worth. So it takes some of that pressure out of thinking about what you're going to create. So I hope that's helpful. Today is Friday, so we get to party for the weekend. No challenge tomorrow or Sunday, so lots of time to catch up. And I will hop back in here on Monday and share day 5. And hopefully over the weekend you can start mapping out a plan so that you will hit Monday and be ready to start sharing your message. Bye, everybody. Hope that's helpful. Leave me a comment if you have any questions. I'm happy to reach out and help you out. Have a good day. Have a great weekend.